People listening are like, well, I'm not performing in any Super Bowls. So what do I do? I mean, honestly, you can benefit from the same thing. Like I said, we're implementing this clinically. I do rice. I feel fine with it. I don't have any issue. It's not a staple for me. It's a treat. But, I think it depends on what's going on with your gut, with your blood sugar, with your sensitivity. I mean, it is possible you have some gluten cross reactivity. So, if you're looking for advice, I see in general do what we'd mentioned, but with the grain piece, I don't know. You really got to consult with us and look at your labs because I think that's how we could base it off.
100%. I mean, the big thing is, hey, you want to be active. You want to be able to play with your kids. You want to be able to do your hobbies, do your sports, be active well into your old age. And it's not about years, it's about quality of years, right? So it's about being able to do your thing, right? And I say the more you can participate in life and not notice the pain in your body, that's the better. The more you can be present with your kids and your family and your hobbies, the more you're worried about your back and your elbow and your knee as you're doing the activity, I think the less present you're going to be. And so I think one of the key things is just keep your body in a great place so you can do all those things. Now, from a training standpoint, I know Tom, just so you know, I think what you said is perfect regarding like rice and such. As long as you don't have a serious active autoimmune issue, you could probably cheat on some of that stuff as long as you don't have a significant symptoms afterwards. I think it's probably okay as long as it's in that 80-20, 80% of the time, not 20% maybe okay. I had my birthday last weekend. We had some crab fried rice, and of course it was gluten free, but just a little bit of it, and I felt good afterwards. So you always can mitigate that. From a training standpoint, though, Tom really trains for pliability. He doesn't overly inflame his muscles with too much lifting because he wants to keep his muscles strong and active and be able to contract, turn on and off fast. But he also doesn't want to overly inflame the muscle and cause it to become reflexively stiff. Think of it as like beef jerky. He wants a strong muscle, but not a muscle that's going to be overly inflamed that won't absorb force. So it's kind of like a soft raw filet steak versus beef jerky, right? Beef jerky is hard and stiff. And if you put a lot of force into it, it can kind of tear, right? Think of that soft tenderloin. It's like a sponge. It can absorb force. So Tom's kind of training modality is training for pliability, training for force absorption. So not overly inflaming the muscle. So doing a lot of band work and doing works that really not overly hypertrophy and cause the muscle to get more inflamed and bigger and stronger, but strong, but also smart, strong, and not overly inflamed and hard and stiff. So the pliability is important because he has to absorb force and he has to put repetitive inflammation on it from throwing and doing certain movements. So he wants that force to be distributed throughout his muscles well and not rip that beef jerky every week, if you will.
Yeah, and that's probably a better approach for most people too. I mean, like you mentioned, maybe the people on the defensive side, the line, they're going to have a totally different strength training profile than him. He wants to be lean, he wants to be flexible, nimble. So that's what I want to be. I don't want to be just huge and strong like a rock. I want to be just nimble. I want to be flexible but still have strength.